Welcome ladies and gentlemen to the Gamer.lk Clans Overwatch League, also known as GCOL, where we have the upper bracket final match between PnX 3-2-1 dive taking on Team X3 Nitro Zeus. I'll be your caster for today. My name is Darkro, and joining me on the cast is none other than Nightblade. Hi Nightblade, how are you?
I'm good, I'm doing good, Darkro. I mean, it's going to be a very exciting match. I mean, the meta has changed a little bit, I think, where some heroes that were not included a few months, I think a month or two ago, are like in the meta a little bit, and maybe teams are still figuring out what's the best thing. So I feel like it'll be a nice, a very interesting, pick phase and whatnot.
Yeah, definitely. I think it'll be more of a open kind of situation, because usually you have a set amount of champions that you would like to use, or heroes, whatever you prefer to call it. Obviously, you always run with ones that you're usually very comfortable with. Some champions that you've used over and over and over again. But in this scenario, I mean, it's so open that you can even open up to new kind of strategies that you can use.
Yeah.
So something we've seen is maybe more utilization of Doomfist as a champion in this game, and obviously the introduction of not just the introduction of, I mean, we used like Wrecking Ball and a few other tanks to kind of just bring a little bit of diversity into their gameplay. So it's gonna be interesting to see how these teams kind of figure out each other and what kind of playstyle they're going to run with.
Yeah, it'll be super interesting, because usually what we've seen in the pro teams and whatnot is like a double shield meta, where they pick Sigma, Orisa, and they'll just defend with two shields, and you can't really, it's not easy to suppress that. So it'll be interesting if they pick something like Diva or Wrecking Ball, which I've seen a little bit in the ladders. I mean, it's not really very team orientated when you pick. I mean, it is a little bit, but it's not as much as the double shield, because a really cool thing you can do with the double shield meta is that Orisa has a pull with her right click, and Sigma has a stun with a stone. So you can always gather, so the pull pulls people in a certain area. It's like vacuum on Darkseer. So you can shoot it and then combo that with Sigma's stun. It's an AoE stun. So it's very, very strong and potent if you can land that skill, but it's a very hard skill shot to hit and a very hard combo to use, but it's still very, very useful.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a budget Zarya.
Yeah, something like that.
A budget, I mean, when you say budget, obviously a little bit lower.
Yeah, it's
I think we'll probably see, in terms of supports, we'll probably still see Ana and Baptiste being picked up.
Ana is not picked up that much. Ana is not really a thing, but
Zenyatta,
no, as a support, Zenyatta, Baptiste is still very strong, and Mercy still a very, I think, common pick in Sri Lanka anyway.
How's Moira?
It got nerfed and it's seeing less play now, but it's still somewhat of a pick, because you played this meta for such a long time and Moira was there for so long that you're so used to the hero that you just want to play.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, but anyway, it'll come down to execution and which team has better teamwork and coordination, because end of the day, that is what this game is all about, being able to utilize your opportunities, make your moves when you have the chance, and obviously retreat when you need to, and having that understanding itself can make you from a normal team to a great team. I mean, that's kind of what makes the difference between when you want to engage, especially once you get a pick, when you have that numbers advantage, obviously how they utilize their ultimates, and obviously the game mode also kind of puts in a little bit of variety, whether it's capture the point, whether they're trying to push the payload. There's so many variables that can actually play into the game, and most of the time we do see Reaper also being run here and there, because he's able to get into the back line, start blowing up a few of these supports, and get that advantage.
Even killing the tanks, it's just sometimes he just goes in and just, unless it's Orisa, unless it's not, you can't do it to Orisa because of her fortify, but you can do it for like Sigma if you land your shots properly, and also the DPS is usually you're not in range to get the DPSs, but if they're playing like a Baptiste, you can easily two-shot it. So you have to be a little bit careful if they are running the Reaper.
Yeah, so with that, we are going to be getting into game number 1 here. It is a best of 3. For those of you who are just tuning in, it is a best of 3. So the first team to take that initial 2 maps, or 2 games, as we would like to call it, so 2 games, will be moving on into the grand finals. And the other team, of course, won't be out. They'll be they have their chance in the lower bracket finals as well. But with that, Abdul, why don't you just walk us through the team comp that both these teams are running?
So right now we have the We have the Diva being run here. I mean, Diva is pretty decent, especially, and we have a Winston being run on both teams here, which is not very, you don't see that very often. But both teams are running the Faria, and the Mercy. So I mean, as you can see, they're just battling it out. But one team will be better than the other, and they will win out in that gunfight. And whoever takes down the Mercy and the other DPSer is basically the one who wins these fights for the most part, just because of how the lineups work. And this map is a map where you can use that combo really well. It's like it's a very open area and you can fly everywhere. And this,
I don't think
expect that.
I think she okay, but she made it.
She made it, yeah.
So anyway, a little bit of unfortunate misplays happening, and now we're taking a look at Stronghold on his Winston. So right now, it looks like the side of 3-2-1 dive taking a decent amount of control here onto the point. So 25% already completed, and with that we are taking a look at Falca. Actually no, sorry, I think I mixed it up a little bit. So it looks like X3 Nitro Zeus has 35% captured, and it's going to be 3-2-1 dives. Falca right now we're taking a look at, and he's known for his play on Farah right here. So you can see the damage being output and the ulti coming in as well, and that is going to be Diva taken out there. So clean ultimate coming out from Falca there to bring down two of these players on the side of Nitro Zeus, and with that they're going to lose one more as well to the Moira, and with that they will start hopefully taking control. But with that we do see push coming in from Stronghold on his Winston to get more pickoffs, and they're going to keep contesting this point and not really giving the side of 3-2-1 dive any room whatsoever to regain control. And with that we do see a few more skills being used, already dropping in Diva with the ultimate to get that bring back her drone. But with that looks like they need to retreat from the point. It's going to be a little bit of Winston versus Winston action, and he's going to be able to disengage to go back all the way to the Moira to be able to heal. And Moira right now activating her ultimate and doing a decent amount of work, and McCree now just holding down this backline and trying to do as much damage as possible. A few shields being dropped down, and that is making it quite difficult for them to get the picks that they want. And now Stronger with the ultimate running in and trying to get out as much kills as he possibly can. But with that we can see two players already going down on the side of Nitro Zeus at 95%, but they're still capping the point. It's 97%. But with that we finally see 3-2-1 dive getting on the point, getting these precious percentages up, and with that they will be ramping up at quite a pace, because 97% was the capture that Nitro Zeus stopped at.
Yeah, Nitro Zeus very close to capping that point, but just the Winston ulti coming out from Stronghold didn't do as much as they thought it would. And now Diva is doing a really decent job just cover firing, but let's see how they manage to fight in close quarters here.
So once again, McCree just doing a great job of staying out of everyone's sight. But as I say, that beautiful stun into the kill right there onto the Ana, who was thinking of flanking but didn't really work out. But with that, you can see everyone on the side of 3-2-1 dive just going down. And with that, it's only going to be the Farah and Mercy left alive here on the side of X3 Nitro Zeus. Actually, so sorry. So with that they've actually respawned, but right now that is going to be the objective secured, and X3 Nitro Zeus taking a very comprehensive point there, very dominant in that initial point.
Yeah, I think that they just used their ultis a lot better. If you saw the early stages of that fight, we saw Falca doing a decent job getting picks, but not really. The team not really focusing on the point as much. Just getting kills outside the point and whatnot is not going to help you, especially on a map like this, where it's very difficult to take fights on the objective. So if you get kills outside the objective, they can just spawn and get back to the point immediately, and those kills don't really account to anything. You just waste your ulti like Falca did. And now you see Falca running the Hanzo here to deal with the enemy composition here, because Hanzo's a little bit better, I feel like, than running others. But we see a change with Reinhardt as well as Reaper here, and two Zaryas as well. So big change of comms from both teams from this different place.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a lot of close combat right here, as you can see. So because of that, Reinhardt coming into play instead of what we usually saw in that previous one. I mean, they were running Winston. But once again, so far Nitro is just putting up a lot of pressure here onto the side of 3-2-1, and with that they're already going to lose that Reinhardt, so they're going to fall back quite a bit. So losing your tank is a very good chance for them. But with that we can see the Reaper right there just getting a beautiful flank, getting those kills, and once again it's going to be Nitro Zeus getting on the board already at 10%, and they are really playing these maps really well, to be honest. They're flanking, they're getting all the picks that they need to kind of snowball into those other kills, and they haven't really lost too much, and with that the ultis are building up. So Deadshot getting very close. It's going to be the Baptiste, very close to his ultimate as well. The rest are around 60 to 70%. Only the Zarya is stuck at a little bit around 52%. But with that, once again, we can see Reinhardt just swinging around his hammer right there, pulling out the shield for a little bit of defense, and we can see Falca getting taken out as well very early, 81% on his ult, but he gets taken down, and once again we do see great immortality coming out, and with that revive coming out onto the Reaper here to bring him back into the action, and once again trying to flank the Reinhardt, disengaging. They do lose the Baptiste as well as the McCree on the side of 3-2-1, but with that Nitro Zeus very comfortably in control here, already 53%, and they're doing this as if, you know, they were just playing a regular pub game.
Yeah, I think Zarya and Reaper are doing a really good job in this game. Just Reaper just laying down so much damage, and Zarya giving her that cover fire and the shields to make him survive for longer. So very good play coming out from both these players here in this match. I think the champion.
Oh, beautiful Zarya! They're all grouped up, but I do believe they have a little bit of immunity right there. But with that, they are not going to lose anyone. So great stuff coming out there, but they do lose 3 in that split second. The Hanzo only being able to bring down the Zarya, but with that, it's going to be a beautiful ultimate coming out from Black Mamba on his Reaper, emoting and teleporting onto the point there, and that is going to be 86% already secured, 88% and counting. And what great ultimate utilization coming out from the side of Nitro Zeus.
Yeah, I think they're just playing better Overwatch right now, especially the picks right now. They understand the map a little bit better than 3-2-1 here, and as you can see, the Reinhardt does go down on the side as well as the Baptiste dropping really low. He does go down as well, so it's going to be a close fight here. Zarya getting low as well with the Tracer as well. Tracer, can she survive? She does, but Zarya goes down in the meantime, so it's going to be a 3v3 right now. Who will come out on top? Reaper goes down, so it's only going to be Zarya and Reinhardt right now. Not going to be easy for them to hold the point.
So they went into overtime for a brief moment there, but in the end, the PnX dive was able to kind of take control of the point, but the question is, can they hold it? They used a lot of their ultimates that they had available. They were able to pick off a few of them. They broke down that pharmacy combination, but right now they need to hold, and the next set of ultimates is going to be on the side of Nitro Zeus, but only if they can get it. They have a decent amount of time, on 20%. Here's the Earth Splitter coming out from the Reinhardt.
By mistake. Oh.
So that's a little bit of a mistake there, no coordination, but with that they do manage to get on the point. They do manage to bring down the Zarya as well as the Reinhardt on the side of 3-2-1 dive, and they're all going to respawn, but Soldier taking a lot of damage, he's going to get taken out. So the last ditch effort switching into Soldier from Hanzo there, and immediately just almost working out, but right now the Farmer and the Mercy just doing so much damage. They're trying to roll their way into the side, but it's not really working. They're trying to buy time using this Wrecking Ball. So Madhu doing a great job of just keeping control. He's just running around on the point, trying to push it into overtime as much as possible, and if they can pick him up, they've already taken down 3 on the side of 3-2-1 dive, and this might be all over, and Nitro Zeus might be securing the first point, but we do have Madhu just spinning around and round and round and round in circles until he eventually is going to fall. We do see the Ana go down, they switch into Moira, but that is not going to be enough, and Nitro Zeus taking map number 1 in a dominant fashion here.
Yeah, I think a lot goes to the picks coming from them, just understanding the map and picking Reaper here, especially against all. It's such a close quarters map, and if you get a good teleport and a good flank, you can basically kill the entire team if you don't have a good immortality on the Baptiste. And yeah, unfortunately the Baptiste was not able to do that, and they couldn't really hold.
And I really love how the Mercy actually kind of understood that at that point in time she needed to kind of let go of the Pharah and just connect into the Reaper, because they'd already blown their Zarya and they had blocked it off really well with that invulnerability and all the immortality, and then just connecting onto the Reaper and just making sure that his full ultimate actually goes out through all the DPS and bring down almost 3 immediately, and then just get that final kill as well to give them that huge advantage. But so far, great stuff coming out from Nitro Zeus. I mean, it seems like they're very comfortable in what they're doing. They know it seems like they put in a lot of time, they put in a lot of practice, and they seem to understand how they should be playing against PnX Dive right here, which is a great sign. But that's one thing about Overwatch. I mean, it looks like it's very one-sided, but then when we get into the next game, it can be completely turned around. So anyway, with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be heading into a very, very short break, and once we come back, we will have game number 2 ready for you guys. And if Nitro Zeus are able to secure themselves a win in that round, we will be seeing them being the first team to head into the grand finals of the GCOL Season 3. So we'll see you guys in a while. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Gamer.lk Clans Overwatch League, also known as GCOL Season 3. I'm your caster once again. My name is Darko, and joining me is going to be Nightblade in this upper bracket final match between Nitro Zeus taking on 3-2-1 Dive. And in that first game, we saw Nitro Zeus with a very clean and very comprehensive win over 3-1 Dive. So it's going to be interesting what they're going to be able to do in going into game number 2. So what are your thoughts about the previous game, Nightblade?
Yeah, I just think that they had it was pretty stompy, to be honest.
Yeah.
They were very good, and it looked like they understood the game a lot better, and they just played and hit their spells a lot better. That's a big part of Overwatch because your spells are not easy to hit. You're in first person. It's not the easiest thing to predict, and your FOV is not the same as a game like Dota or something like that. So hitting your spells in this game means quite a lot, and especially with a hero like Zarya, where if you get your shield onto the right person, you can do so much with your own hero. And for like putting it on a person like Reaper, and him going in, killing a few guys, and then them trying to kill Reaper while the bubble is on him, and then you getting damage, and then it's just very snowbally sort of lineup they had. So they put it to good use, and it showed.
Yeah, so once again, just a reminder for those of you who don't know, this is the Pro League of the GCOL. So we had the Challenger League a few months ago, and we saw a few teams that kind of shone in that regard. But right now, this is the cream of the crop when you're talking about Sri Lankan talent for Overwatch. So let's see whether 3-1 Dive can pull out something just out of the bag in this second game here. So because they really need to, because right now, Nitro Zeus seems very dominant and very in control over how 3-1 is kind of just executing their gameplay overall.
Yeah.
But anyway, with that, just go ahead and explain a little bit about the composition that they are running on the side of 3-1 Dive.
So we see on the defense we have the Sigma Orisa combo. So that's the double shield combo that we have seen a lot, but it did get nerfed quite a bit by the shields got nerfed by so many 100 HP. So it's not as good as it once was, so it's not like you can just run it and expect to win anymore. But let's see how they utilize it, because right now we see the Soldier and Mercy being run by both teams, not the Soldier, just the Mercy and the Pharah on both teams. So let's see who's the better Pharah right now, because Pharah does decently well against these shield lineups because he can fly above them. The only thing that counters her is if you can pick them off while they're in the air. But right now we see the Pharah doing quite a bit of work here onto and he does get eliminated.
Yeah, so Paka does go down there, so very unfortunate, but with that, they do still have their own Pharah here on the side of Nitro Zeus. This time taking a little bit of different approach here, not even going into the air, going to do a little bit of ground play right there, just sticking to the ground and shooting. She does have a decent AoE, so the damage does get spread. But with that, they're going to be using the Reinhardt. But right now, they put a little bit of they made a decent amount of progress on the side of Nitro Zeus, which is great, because that initial hold is usually the one that is the most difficult to kind of break, and they've already managed to do that within a very short amount of time. So right now, pressure onto the side of 3-1 Dive. They seem to have found out the Soldier, but he's able to sprint into safety using the shield from Reinhardt. Once again, a lot of damage going into the backline coming in from Falca. But he does have the ultimate if he wants to use it. Is he going to be able to utilize it? He has a few people. He does use it right here, but he immediately gets taken down. So that is going to be a very unfortunate use of her ultimate. And with that, we do see a beautiful stun falling out onto Jonah Boy, and you can see everyone's HP just dropping down so fast. Even the Sigma just dropping down, but just being able to save himself through the heals coming in from Baptiste, but the Baptiste has gone down. So with that, they lose Jonah Boy as well. So right now, everyone on the side of 3-1 Dive just falling like flies, making it very difficult for them to do any sort of execution. Falca also getting taken out from the DPS coming in from Soldier, and right now X3 Nitro Zeus making so much steady progress really fast right here, just kind of staggering the kills on the side of 3-1 Dive, and just being able to keep going over and over because they're losing their numbers advantage. They're not regrouping, and that is giving X3's Nitro Zeus so much space to keep pushing forward.
Yeah, but now we have the Bongo from Orisa right now. Let's see if they can put a good use. Takes a decent place to hold if they can. We do have the ultimates up as well. Let's see how they...
Oh, we do see a Zarya. Everyone gets grouped up, and that is going to get 3 taken down almost immediately with that ultimate coming out from Pharah. So great coordination once again coming in from the side of Nitro Zeus, and they are on a dominant spree right here, trying to bring down this last player who's just running into safety to join back with their team, and we thought that choke point would be the place for the side of 3-1 to kind of hold, but XT Nitro Zeus just saying otherwise.
Yeah, I mean they had Sigma out there, so it's a really nice play for Sigma out, but unfortunately they did group up themselves and they got caught by the Zarya out, and when you get caught by Zarya out and you have Farah with you, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah, so but with that we do see the Reinhardt going down on the side of Nitro Zeus, so this might be the chance for 3-1 to just kind of get the push in and try to force them back a little bit, but you can see how well the side of Nitro Zeus is just kind of spread out. The fact the Farah is using that high ground, but immediately she's going to get taken down because obviously being broken away from that Mercy means not as much sustain as you would like, and now this time looks like they do have the McCree ult, they do have the Farah ult as well once again on the side of 3-1 dive. Let's see whether they can utilize it well enough.
Well, they do get a nice kill onto Zarya here, so it's gonna stagger their approach coming in from
no, but we do see the Mercy actually reviving the Zarya there.
Still gonna stop them a little bit and hold, gives them some time, and taking down Baptiste and Reinhardt right now is going to be hard. They're going to probably back off here and not attempt to go in right now, but we see Soldier getting hit a little bit, but missed a few shots, could have gotten that kill there. Fortunate for them. And you can see Farah doing quite a bit of damage, good sustain in this point. This is what I said, this point is really nice to defend, and if they do hit this, if their abilities, they can hold this for quite a long time.
So right now just charging in, they're trying to put in as much pressure as they can, but McCree holding a really great angle, but taking so much damage, just dropping out to about 40 HP. Can they bring him down though? So with that, looks like he is going to be healed up back to full. They still have the high noon available if they want to use it. Jonah Boy has his ultimate, the Reinhardt ultimate flies out, but with that they are able to get a few kills right here. Gets down 3. XT Nitro Zeus now having a lot of trouble getting that push going, and great hold coming in from 3-1 dive, and this is after recovering from that initial use of ultimates. They are doing a great job to push back the side of Nitro Zeus, and Soldier not really being able to peek for too long, gets taken out. 3 beautiful shots coming in from McCree, and you can see the confidence coming out from them, just trying to stagger these kills, pushing forward, shields being dropped to mitigate a little bit of this damage. Stronghold changing from Reinhardt into Winston here. 2 minutes 40 seconds left on the clock. Can they get past this checkpoint and get the full conversion?
Yeah, this Winston is just to take down the McCree, and let's see if it works out, because they have to find the McCree and jump him and make sure the Winston is alive to take him down here. Winston, his shield is down right now, so he can't really go forward just yet. Let's see how they manage to do this.
Once again, we might see Farah getting caught out on the... Zarya down to 4! And that is... no one goes down. The heals are there. The sustain is trying to turn it around. There is going to be 2 on the side of Nitro Zeus actually getting taken out. They lose the Winston as well. They lose the McCree. And now they need to run. What a turnaround coming out from the side of 3-1 dive. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was just bad timing. I think Zarya needed to communicate with the team. He found a good opportunity, but they had no follow-up with it. So unfortunately, they couldn't use that to their advantage, and they keep holding here.
That's some great stuff coming in from the side of 3-1 dive. When push comes to shove, when the pressure is applied, we do see the highlights here once again. We're just looking at Farah just trying to get that execution down, but here comes the ultimate. They could not do anything with this. They had 3 of them stuck right there, but they just didn't have the damage.
Yeah, and they didn't have the abilities available to them as well, and now we see a bit more poking here from the Farah, but nothing really being done, no kills being taken just yet. The Farah fight is still happening right now. Who can hit the most shots right now is all we can see.
Yeah, definitely just using that high ground advantage. Once again, just getting spanned by the other Farah. She needs to get back into the air once again. But with that, they have slowly managed to push back the side of 3-1 dive. They managed to get another kill as well. So that is going to be the McCree getting taken out. And now you can see Forrest got so much confidence in his play. He's just going to go up all the way into their base and try to zone them here. The Reinhardt pushing forward. He's going to charge all the way back in, making sure not to get caught out. And with that, once again, Baptiste is trying to fight up against the Farah here inside the base. Does get stunned, but immediately has that rocket boost, so he goes up all the way in the high. Here comes the high noon, but only gets 2 kills. No, just gets about 2 kills there. So great stuff coming out from the player from 3-1 dive here, and now using the wrecking ball right here to a lot of good use. Just using that point to kind of stall as much as possible. But with that, we do see 3 going down on the side of 3-1 dive, and this might be the conversion coming in from Nitro Zeus. Just needs to get this final kill here to make sure the payload gets pushed in, but everyone else is just respawning and keeps keeps this payload alive. Can they convert? 10 seconds left on the clock. Once again, Reinhardt jumping in, immediately gets taken down. At this point, they're farming kills, but the timer is going down. It's only 2 seconds left, and it's going to be the Reinhardt just swinging away at everyone who's here. Once again, the wrecking ball is in place, but he's going to get smacked with that hammer, and there is the conversion at 0.0 seconds coming out from Nitro Zeus. Great stuff coming out from them to make sure they get those 3 points.
Yeah, very nice hold coming out from a 3-2 dive, but unfortunately not able to hold out the last point there. Very close.
Very, very close. I mean, all the way, just utilizing every little second that they had to use, but in the end, you know, they just gave them one kill. They gave the side of Nitro Zeus that one kill, and they just kind of snowballed off from there, and then from there it was just farming kills after kills after kills. Everyone was just kind of running and trying to keep forcing that overtime, so there was no time to group up even for the side of 3-1 dive coming in from obviously on the defense. But you know, in the end of the day, the execution was there from the side of Nitro Zeus, but it will come down to whether the side of 3-1 dive can execute their push much better than the side of
here we can see the Ana here doing a lot of work actually, like just decision to Ana, and now the Ana just doing quite a bit, keeping the team alive while getting kills as well. So props to Ana there for making it a lot easier for them to take that point as well.
Yeah, definitely some great sleeps, just, you know, holding in those kill shots like you said until a tank ran into the site. I mean, the moment Reinhardt ran in, he got hit with the sleep, he got knocked out in front of the Reinhardt, as well as I believe it was the Winston, and then just took so much damage. But with that, on the offense, looks like 3-1 dive have opted to go for a Genji. So what do you think? Do you think that will be enough to get them across the line?
I don't think that's a good hero, honestly. I think that hero can get countered very easily and can get bursted very easily with just a stun, a well-placed stun or something like that can easily, because it's pretty weak, and you have to get close to do anything, and it doesn't do too much damage as well. The ultimate is obviously very good, but getting to that ultimate is what's hard for me.
Yeah, so right now we do see a different setup point coming in from the side of Nitro Zeus. They are going to be using that Orisa like you said, but they'll be running it with a Roadhog. So they're, you know, just having that Roadhog to be able to kind of displace any of these heroes coming in from the side of 3-2-1 dive is always going to be really good, because you know, if he grabs the Genji, you can burst him down
also
really fast.
You can hook the power as well. So that's the thing. You can hook the power of the Mercy, and then that combo is instantly broken, but it's not easy to hit those hooks. So let's see how it goes.
Oh, the hook was thrown in, gets up the Orisa here on the side of 3-1 dive, but is he able to convert it into the kill? Doesn't look like it. False God right now taking a decent amount of damage. We do see Sneaky, but they lose McCree, but immediately they lose the Orisa as well, so the trade is there, so it's still a 4 against 4, I mean sorry, 5 against 5, but anyway, with that, let's see whether they can utilize this in any way. False God is taking, using a very ground-based approach, but as I say that, he's going to go up into the sky, just try to get a few poking shots, but gets through the Roadhog, and there we have it, and immediately Sneaky Tool is going to be revived, but unfortunately, because he revived the Sneaky Tool, he was not able to revive Force God, and now Falca going to go to town here, doing a lot of work here, brings down one, gets down, I think, Black Mamba, he gets sent back to base here, and once again that is going to try to hold, and now PnX 3-2-1 dive is putting in a decent amount of damage on the Roadhog, but the Roadhog is so sustainable with his kit. He has the heal as well as the hook, so he's able to keep himself in the game for such a long time.
The Fire just made a small mistake there of getting killed while she got her ultimate in a really good position as well. She pushed a little bit too far. She could have waited for a team and regrouped and got a really nice ultimate on them, but right now it looks like Nitro Zeus has all their ultimates up, so it's going to be a very hard take for
yeah, so once again we do see Falca going up into the skies here, trying to do as much damage as possible, but with that McCree almost getting flanked here by the batteries, but does get taken down. Orisa is also there holding the choke point, but right now Abdul is
Roadhog ultimate is taking down two there, and now Fire going down McCree as well. Only Roadhog and Mercy alive right now. Roadhog getting back and not dying, so making sure to try and regroup with his team, but they are pressuring them a little bit.
The stun is there, the hook, the combination, and he actually gets taken down. What a great coordination play coming out from Nitro Zeus. And right now 3-1 dive hasn't even got control of the payload, let alone start getting it pushed. But great stuff coming in from Nitro Zeus. That defense is impeccable. Even that ultimate coming out from McCree previously didn't even pay do anything actually. The guy wasn't even single kill, everything was kind of wasted, and you know the utilization of these ultimates coming out was just not really working for them. But right now both these teams, they have almost every single hero here has their ultimates, but except for I believe it's going to be the Roadhog and the Pharah. Everyone else does have it. I think Black Widow just used her one as Widowmaker used her one as well, so that is going to give them a little bit of vision, but it's already been utilized. But with that, the execution is going to be important. Black Mamba with the Mercury out, but gets taken out before the shots do come through, and with that already 5 going down, 6 going down. It's going to finally be a wipe here for the side of Nitro Zeus, and they only have 34 seconds left for the side of 3-2-1 dive to get control of this point. Otherwise Nitro Zeus takes it all, and what a great hole coming out from them in this second game. They are just so dominant, they make it look so easy, and right now 3-2-1 dive has no answer.
Yeah, 3-2-1 dive did get the payload in the end, but they do have 3 minutes left only, so it's gonna be a tough way to push. They did use both ultimates on both sides, like all the ultimates were used, so it's going to be a little even right now, and it's not easy to contest the next point for Nitro Zeus right now. So let's see. I think it's a little bit more advantageous for 3-2-1 dive here.
Yeah, so with that they have managed to push them back quite a bit. So 2 minutes and 17 seconds on the clock. So Nitro Zeus giving them a little bit of time, little bit of space here, right here, trying to group up. The ultimates have been used by every single hero that is available. Once again, we're taking a look at False God, the god of the skies right here, just spraying down the damage and trying to go in aggressively, looking for the Pharah on the other team, but right now has a really good position, does not have the ultimate though, might be able to do a decent amount of damage, just spamming away right here, getting these rockets to connect and predicting, and with that the Zarya gets 2 kills as well along with the Reinhardt, and that is going to be the pushback once again coming in from Nitro Zeus with amazing coordination and amazing understanding of exactly what they need to do as a unit to make sure that 3-2-1 dive do not proceed.
Yeah, the way to counter that is to, when Pharah makes an aggressive play like that, to immediately shut her down and kill her off, but as you can see the McCree was not ready for that push coming in from the Pharah, so then they had no one to really deal with the damage coming out from her, so it was an instant push from the rest of their team to get a hold of that that fight.
Zarya getting very close to ultimate, just about 15% left, and now Falca has his ultimate on Pharah, but immediately gets taken down, and that is something we talked about, Abdul. The moment he gets into a good position, he gets taken down almost immediately, and it seems like they're having a little bit of communication issues, but right now everything seems to be Nitro Zeus, and they are pushing the advantage. They bring down the McCree as well. Pharah already getting taken out, so that is some quick kills, but it's still a 2-for-2 exchange. The McCree and Baptiste is going down on the side of 3-2-1, sorry, 3-2-1 Nitro Zeus. I almost mentioned it, sorry, my Nitro Zeus. So with that, everyone is going to revive back up. Only the Zarya gets taken out on the side of 3-2-1, and with that we do see the Reinhardt moving in. He does have the ultimate available if he wants to utilize it. Just waiting in. They have the Reinhardt ult, they have the Zarya ult, and they do have the Pharah ultimate as well if they want to use it on the side of Nitro Zeus. Waiting for the timer to just kind of drop. 25 seconds left on the clock. Stronghold right now looking for a flank, looking for an opportunity to utilize this ultimate. Runs into the McCree right here. Is he going to be able to get the kill? McCree is trying to run. He's actually surrounded. The shield comes up, and McCree is going to be able to get out, and there's going to be a pause for 5 seconds here. Seems like one of the players have disconnected a little bit. Unfortunate there on the side of Nitro Zeus, just slowing down a little bit of the action, but with that they are going to resume once again. The game is going to be paused. So a little bit of unfortunate circumstances happening there for Nitro Zeus while they were in control of that entire round. Even not just allowing them to get onto the point to get the payload, but even once they start pushing it, the coordination coming in once the push came in from their Pharah on the side of Nitro Zeus to put pressure and just keep getting those kills, and the Zarya just following up as well. So much pressure being put, and there is really no answer for 3-2-1 dive.
Yeah, and Reinhardt getting that McCree kill at the end with the last push basically from 3-2-1 dive, and getting that kill under the McCree, as well as having his ultimate ready while Pharah was coming close to him, is already a big indicator that they can't really push in those 12 seconds, and it's going to be really tough for the side of 3-2-1 dive to actually go and get the next point.
Yeah, definitely. I think, just being able to, I mean, right now I don't even think they have a single point so far in the game.
No, they have 1 point.
Yeah, they probably have 1 point because they managed to secure the payload.
Yeah,
but either way, I mean, so far it seems like a struggle bus, bit of a game for them. But even if they do fall in, fall here, Abdul, they still have another chance to face up against Nitro Zeus, because they do have that lower bracket final also today. So the moment this game is over, whichever team will fall into the lower bracket will have another chance to come and fight off against Nitro Zeus. But Nitro Zeus right now, I mean, I feel like they are right up there in terms of how they are performing, their communication, their understanding of the game, and just how they are executing their plans throughout the game. And it seems like they they just kind of blended really well as a team, and their movements, everything seems to be very quick. So usually that kind of decision making only happens if you played for hours and hours and hours with your team, and everyone exactly understands how everyone else works.
Yeah, and how quickly you're gonna pressure the team, how quickly you make snap decisions to change your the way you approach fights, basically. So when you're on the defense, you usually play very defensive, and you don't really usually go aggressive all the time. But when we saw that Farah play, when immediately switched from defensive to offensive mode, we saw how quickly the team followed up with that, because she wasn't getting the kills, but Zarya was in position to finish off the people that she got low at the start with the Farah, just using her her shots on them, getting them low, and then Zarya just going in and clean it up.
Yeah, definitely. So once again, that kind of understanding you don't get easily, for sure. And even if you look at that previous game, I think more than anything, it just feels like the compositions that are coming out from the side of 3-2-1 is not really working out for them. I mean, they have a few questionable picks here and there, but obviously I mean, maybe they have some sort of strategy they want to use along with that, or maybe they've used it in previous matches and they worked out for them really well. Or maybe they just don't have a handle on how Nitro Zeus kind of plays the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think the comp coming from 3-2-1 dive in this, when they're attacking, is okay. I think it's fine, but it's just that they're not. We saw them. Okay, now we're back into the game. He has the reconnected false god here, but
yeah. So with that, we are reconnecting into the game, ladies and gentlemen, in this final phase of things. And right now we do have the Zarya in position to make sure that the overtime is going through, and with that the rest of the side of Nitro Zeus is going to fall back, making sure that they can regroup and kind of utilize these ultimates that they have ready. They have 4 right now. That is going to be a decent amount of objectives if they want to use it. And Zarya comes in, they're actually there too, and with that 3 actually, including the Farah, and they're going to bring them all down, and there we go, the ultimates being utilized, and they are going to get wiped. They lose 3 already, looking for the Baptiste right now, the only one alone on the point. Will they be able to bring it down? He has a shield to tank for a little bit, but he's going to fall eventually. But there once again the Zarya coming in to delay and buy some time for the side of 3-2-1 dive, but I don't think that's going to be enough. The bubble is there, he gets taken down, and that is going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be Nitro Zeus moving on to the grand finals here after winning the upper bracket finals. Great stuff coming out from them, and very, very well deserved.
Yeah, I think they played a really good game, as you can see in the last bit as well. They just utilized all their spells very well, and and here we can see a very nice take coming out from 3-2-1 here, but unfortunately not really working out for them. Getting really nice shots, clearing the entire area and getting a team kill here. Very nicely played for getting that payload there, but unfortunately couldn't really progress that into a 3-point lead.
Yeah, so with that, don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We do have the lower bracket final that is going to be happening in a very, very short while. So stay tuned for that. But for now, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you guys during the lower bracket grand finals in just a little while.